You know, the coffee has like foam on top, like there, because I put the protein scoop of powder in there, and then you guys, I told you before, I use this thing, to like go in there, I whips it all up, and oh wait, oh by the way, good morning. I did this before. Oh, I don't know. Did that work? I don't know. Good morning. I'm back. I told you I'd be back, right? Yeah. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, 6 o'clock. I was up at 3, went to bed at 6 in the camper, right? So, anyway, yeah, went out and got myself a new hat. Do you like it? That wasn't Australian. That was, I don't know what it was. But, oh wait, actually, I've got 2 new hats. Wait, hang on. This is complicated. How you doing? Yeah, I went in for an oil change, and it was, I mean, it's Nike brand, so it was $49, but I had to have it. No, it wasn't. It was like 15. Now you might be wondering why are the glasses attached to the hat? Okay, there's a story.
This episode of The Mad Camper has been sponsored by Michelin Tires. Your safety is our priority.
Okay, thanks Michelin for sponsoring this episode. I mean, we have to keep the lights on around here, right? So, but is he okay? Someone go and check and, help him pull his shorts up or something. Jeez. I'm not going to do it. Ew. Just saying. I'm not getting anywhere near that, road rash down there. But Ava, I was talking. You interrupted me. That was a little premature, don't you think?
Sorry, I hit the wrong button.
The wrong button? You don't have fingers. What are you talking about?
Wow, that was below the belt.
Belt? Well, you don't wear pants either. What?
Well, neither do you.
Now, whoa. What goes on, from here down, it's kind of my own business, right? So, yeah. And by the way, Honey Bun has been up there like fully naked, for all my videos, right? She doesn't wear pants either, do you? And in my defense, Donald Duck never wore pants, right? So, what, what? Uh-oh. Um, now, by the way, I've got something miraculous going on up here. This just showed up. No, it's not miraculous. It's neurons. No, photons. Science. So anyway, this video, you guys, is going to be a grab bag, a buffet, a virtual plethora of, I love that word, just a bunch of random stuff. All right, so I've got some announcements and some other, things. So let's go. It's getting bloody brighter. That's for one of my buddies in the UK. All right, now the hat. Yeah, it has to do with one of my hobbies, and it has to do with wind. I don't want to lose my $49 hat, right? So I'll explain later. And no, it doesn't have to do with skydiving, which I've actually done, by the way. Do you have time for a story? Maybe grab a beverage. But yeah, I've actually jumped out of, pretty good airplanes, like 9 times. Not 9 different planes. It was 2 planes. I think it was a Cessna 206 and a 192, I think. The 206, we were all crammed in there. But anyway, yeah, I've done 9 jumps. Not tandem. That's for sissies, where you're attached to someone else. No, I went solo. It's called static line. The first 5 jumps, you're actually attached to the plane and your parachute opens automatically. But you're still like the full effect of like, when you jump off a table, something catches you. Well, and by the way, you don't jump out of the airplane when you're first starting out. 8 hours of training. They had us like, actually jumping off a picnic table and practice rolling and all that. But anyway, so yeah, you don't jump out. You put your legs, the door opens and there's all kinds of wind coming in and you look down and there's like tiny little buildings and stuff, You swing your legs out and there's this little platform. It's about this big attached to the landing gear. And there's a strut that goes up to the wing. So you hang onto that and you crawl out onto this little ledge thing. And it's windy, and then you don't jump. What happens is you look over at the door and the jump master is like, good luck with that. What you do is you let go of the airplane and it's weird because you're like this and the airplane just goes away. The airplane goes up. It's really weird. So yeah, you're actually going 130 miles an hour in free fall, right? I mean, not during static line because your chute opens like almost right away. By the way, the first time I did this, after, during all the training, they show you all these big photos of looking up at like a failed parachute. The parachute's all crumpled and tangled and, what you're supposed to do. Well, the first time I did it, my first jump, my chute opened and it's crumpled a little bit. There's what's called line twists, where the chute opens and the lines coming down to your harness are twisted. So you have to lock your legs together and pull like this, and it'll spin you around and straighten out, Then the thing, can't remember what it's called, that goes up and it stabilizes all the lines and all that. Kind of freaked me out. And during that process, I had my glasses on plus goggles. Those got knocked sideways, and so I couldn't see what I was doing. But anyway, so my very first jump, so I'm coming in and they tell you don't look straight down because you can't judge how far you are from the ground. You're supposed to look at an angle, right? Well, I forgot about that. So I put the brakes on. That's how when you're flying, the parachute actually flies, right? It flies forward like a glider. I pulled too early. I put the brakes on too early. So the chute stalled and it just did a nosedive. And so here's the parachute and here's me. So it just kind of went, wham. And I just went, feet, knees, face on the ground. But I jumped up and I'm like, woohoo, let's do it again. So I did 5 static lines and then I did 4 free falls where, I was not attached. I had to pull, right? And so the first 3 were fine. It was really a blast, you guys. It was really fun. But the last jump that I did freaked me out and I quit because I talked to my jump master later. And he said, okay, you were doing 3 things. You were rotating, right? And he said you were potato chipping, which is this, unstable. And I couldn't remember the third thing. But anyway, all I remember is I'm trying to look at my altimeter to figure out when I should pull. And usually it's like, count to 10 or whatever. Totally lost track of everything. Didn't know where I was at. And I'm like, just screw it. And I pulled and my chute was fine, but I was way too high. It took me like a half an hour to get down to the ground. So I'm just flying around, and just, after the traumatic, the free fall was, so I'm just flying around doing circles and, and it's cool because you're way above, So I landed just fine and it was fine, but still it's like, geez. So anyway, something you didn't know about me. I might do it again, but now it's like really expensive. So back then it was like $30 a jump or something like that. Anyway, sorry, let's keep going. Okay, any Monty Python fans? And now for something completely different. I did this 2 or 3 nights ago. I mean, not my best one, but what's interesting, yeah, the camera sat outside for 12 hours. What you just saw was 33 seconds. It's pretty amazing because it does a snapshot like once a minute and 60 frames per second, right? So it goes really quick. My neighbor just fired up his Harley, so I walked over and talked to him. So beautiful bike, bagger. I don't know what model, but yeah, just beautiful bike. Anyway, so talked about the aftermarket exhaust and all that. But anyway, so can you hear that? Loud pipes save lives, but loud pipes are a little annoying. Mine's a little bit loud too, but not that loud. Ooh, I gave it away. Shoot. This hobby. Now, let's keep going. Okay, this is starting to get a little bit too long, so just so you guys know, I've got like 5 videos like queued up, just on different topics. So they're probably going to be quickies, right? Different categories. So a couple of you have been asking, what about your garden? You keep talking about your garden, like whatever. Are you going to show us or what? So yeah, I'll show you the garden. And by the way, the asparagus is doing really well. Yeah, you guys, should I be planting these seeds? It takes like 4 years for asparagus to take off, well, in this case, it was like a week, but so geez, or is this dill? I don't know. But yeah, so yeah, let me know. Should I plant those seeds or what? So yeah, the garden, I'll talk about that in a separate quickie. All right. So watch out for quickies. And relating to the garden, I'll show you my rain barrels that are connected together, taking rain off of the gutter, and then there's a pump. You saw in that video of the time lapse at night, 2 buckets up on a big 4x4. So it's gravity fed, and there's PVC pipe going down each row of the garden. I'll explain all that. Works great. Bandit came back. I set 4 security cameras out there, so I got different angles of him eating his buffet plate, his triage, Tedaguchi, no, what's it called? Tiramisu, what's the plate called? So I've got some cool bandit stuff, separate quickie. My glucose is way too high, you guys. Trying to get it under control, Snickers bars don't have anything to do with that, do they? Like, I don't know. Do they? No. And by the way, the protein that I put in my coffee, it's only 2 grams of carbs. So that's not it. So I've been monitoring my glucose, with this little gadget, right? you do the finger poke thing and, do that. But they sent me some new technology. So here's the transmitter, and it goes, I don't know where it goes, like on your, I'll have to read the instructions, but that's the transmitter. And then technology, this is the receiver, and it gives me, like, every 5 minutes I can look on my phone and see what the Snickers bar did. Like, bzzzt, right? So this, I'm a data analyst. So I'm going to put this into an Excel spreadsheet and do a graph, Well, no, the graph is like built into the app. It's a separate app. Okay, geez. See, this is what happens when you're like a big time content creator, right? Stuff happens. So I think, the software that I'm using, OBS Studio, when you hit the space bar, it stops recording. So I think when I set my technology down, I hit the space bar. So anyway, I was talking about my glucose, right? So yeah, another fun gadget I have is, I'm doing like insulin injections now, but it doesn't bother me. That tiny, tiny little needle, and those of you, I don't know if any of you are doing this, but I started with 10 units, in the morning, just once a day. And with the tiny needle, I don't even feel it. So you set it to whatever, and then you push the button and you hold it there for, on your belly, my one ab, hold it there for 10 seconds. And then, so it's no big deal. And they told me if your fasting glucose isn't coming down in the morning, then dial it up, 2 units per day until it gets, I can't remember what she said, when it gets below a certain point. So I'm up to like 14 now, 14 units. So I'm just going to keep cranking it up, plus my, what's it called? I'll put it up here for, glucose also. So 2 of those 1,000 milligrams twice a day. So anyway, so I was talking about, quickies. Sorry. So, we talked about glucose, probably too much, but whatever. And then, I'll talk about fuzzy, my hobby. All right. And, if you want like a sneak preview, you can Google that if you want to. So now, enough about me, Are most content creators like narcissists? It's all about me. Like, look what I can do. So you guys know me. But so I'm hoping the next quickie that I do, I might try to do it today. Although it's really nice outside. I might be outside doing stuff. But anyway, the next one is going to be about you guys and your comments and your questions. All right. And just some other fun stuff. So this is not all about me. You guys know that. So yeah, I've got like a bunch of quickies that are, like I said, lined up, ideas that I have. So anyway, watch for those. And in closing, thank you. I can't say that enough. All right. Thanks for all your comments. And by the way, what I've decided to do, you guys, just as a side note, the last 3 videos alone, I've gotten 142 comments. Thank you. All right. But it's very time consuming. So what I decided to do is, if I give you a heart, I go through the comments and give you a heart. What that means is I read your comment and thank you so much for your encouragement. And I'm really glad you're here, part of the Mad Pack, right? But it kind of gets redundant, to be honest, you guys. And if I reply to all of them, thank you so much. I'm glad you're here and thank you for your encouragement. And if I do that for all of your comments, which I wish I could do, but it just gets really redundant. So here's the thing. If you ask a question, then I'll do a reply, because I don't want you to ask a question and then, okay, heart. And then you're like, I don't want to leave you hanging, right? So if you leave a comment, and I encourage that, and that's actually going to be part of the next quickie, answering some of your questions, because geez, like 2 or 3 months ago, I said, leave me your questions, and then I haven't responded, so, I'm sorry. So, well, anyway, I'm not sorry. It is what it is. I've got stuff going on, obviously. But yeah, so thank you so much, you guys. You're amazing. And I know a couple of you are like really suffering right now. Joy and Nancy, you guys, if you haven't, please go out to the community tab and check out some of those comments, and those folks that are suffering, please give them some love and send your prayers and positive vibes and all that. And it means a lot to anyone that leaves a comment just saying, I'm struggling. And I encourage that too. If you're struggling, anybody out there, part of the Mad Pack or whatever, if you're having a bad day, it's okay. It takes courage, right? But leave us a comment. Leave a comment on any of my videos, and when I see it, with your permission, I hope it's okay, but I'll put it on the community tab, because you guys can't post out there. I think I'm the only one that can actually start a post, but I will. And if you do that, if you leave a comment and it goes out there, I guarantee the Mad Pack will step up and give you a lot of support, right? Because that's what we do here, right? Thank you so much, you guys. It's a beautiful day. I'm going to go outside and do some stuff that I need to do. So you guys know, thank you so much for being here, and thanks for tuning in. And I hope you smiled, giggled a little bit during this one. It was a little bit wacky, but thanks, you guys. Got to go. Love you. Got to go. Bye. Something shiny. What was the other? I was gonna no, do over. Number 3. What was it? I can't remember. What was number 3? Jeez, kind of my own business, right? Wait, a fan just turned on. Do over. Jeez.